All right, welcome to this explainer. As the summer months roll in and those temperatures start to absolutely soar, most of us just, well, crank up the AC or grab an icy drink. But what about our pets? The hidden dangers of summer heat are actually incredibly stealthy when it comes to cats and dogs. They experience and regulate heat in fundamentally different ways than we do. And a sunny day can turn into a life-threatening situation way faster than you might think. So let's dive right into this and unpack exactly how to keep your furry best friends safe when the next heat wave hits. Before we really get into the weeds here, I do need to set a quick ground rule. This explainer is strictly for educational purposes. We're pulling all this info straight from veterinary and animal welfare experts like the RSPCA and the American Veterinary Medical Association. But look, this is absolutely not a substitute for professional care. If your pet is ever in an emergency, always contact a registered vet practitioner or a poison control center immediately. So here's our roadmap for today. First, summer heat versus pets. Second, cats, hydration, and shade. Third, dogs, safe summer routines. Fourth, recognizing heat stroke. And finally, number 5, emergency first aid. Let's kick things off with section 1, summer heat versus pets and their biological differences. It really all comes down to evolutionary biology. We humans, we just sweat to cool down, right? But our pets are at a pretty massive disadvantage. Take cats, for example. They actually evolved as desert animals. Because their wild ancestors got most of their moisture directly from their prey, modern cats have a notoriously low thirst drive. They literally just don't feel the urge to drink water the way they should when it gets super hot out. Dogs, on the flip side, well, they can't sweat through their skin either. They rely almost entirely on panting to release heat, and they lose heat through their bodies. But think about it. If a dog has a thick coat, that fur just traps the heat right against their skin like a winter jacket in July. Because their biology is so fundamentally different, our summer care strategies for them need to be completely customized. Moving on to section 2, cats, hydration, and shade. Basically, keeping our felines cool. 90 degrees. I want you to remember that number. Research actually indicates that as temperatures approach or cross that 90-degree Fahrenheit mark, the risk of severe heat stress for outdoor cats just spikes dramatically. And here's the tricky part. Cats are absolute masters at hiding discomfort. They're not going to walk up to you and complain that they're overheating. So if you have an outdoor cat, or even a cat lounging in a poorly ventilated indoor space, hitting that 90-degree threshold means you need to step in and actively intervene to keep them safe. Just look at the massive gap in moisture content here. A diet strictly made of dry kibble, that only provides about 10% moisture. But wet food sits comfortably right around 75 to 80% water. Remember how we talked about cats lacking that strong natural thirst drive? Well, incorporating wet food into at least one meal a day is essentially a life hack. You're sneaking a massive life-saving hydration boost directly into their daily routine without them even realizing it. Oh, and you can also try adding a little splash of plain, unsalted meat broth right into their bowl. So what can we actually do? Here's a rapid-fire checklist you can literally implement around your house today. First up, scatter multiple water bowls around the house. Try to use ceramic or stainless steel because plastic can hold onto weird odors that actually deter cats from drinking. Second, drop a couple of ice cubes in their bowl during peak heat. It cools the water down and honestly, it fascinates the cat. Third, maybe consider a pet water fountain. Moving water signals freshness to a cat's wild instincts. And finally, providing cooling mats in nicely shaded areas. Oh, and a super quick pro tip. Regular grooming is fantastic, but please resist the urge to shave your cat completely. Their coat actually acts as vital insulation against the heat and totally prevents sunburn. All right, shifting gears to section 3, dogs' safe summer routines, focusing on environmental hazards. 6 minutes. I really want that number to sink in for a second. According to the RSPCA, it takes just 6 minutes for an animal to die in a hot car. It's completely terrifying. Temperatures inside a vehicle can reach more than double the outside temperature, and that's even on a mild day, folks. Parking in the shade, cracking the windows, that absolutely does not solve the problem. So the golden rule here is never, ever leave your pet alone in a vehicle. To really keep your dog safe, their daily routine is going to need a bit of a summer overhaul. First off, avoid exercising your pet in extreme heat. Just shift your walks to the early morning or late in the evening. Second, utilize the 5-second hand test. It's super simple. Place the back of your hand directly against the pavement or asphalt. If you can't hold it there comfortably for 5 whole seconds, then it is absolutely too hot for your dog's paws. No question. Finally, beware of sunburn. Just like us, pets, especially the ones with white coats or really thin hair, can get severe sunburns, which can actually lead to skin cancer. pet-safe sunscreen and just sticking to the shade are going to be your best defenses here. Let's move to Section 4, Recognizing Heat Stroke, Spotting a Crisis. Okay, this is a fantastic hands-on technique you can do right at home. It's called the Skin Turgor test, and it helps you check your pet's hydration levels on the fly. Basically, you gently pinch the loose skin right at the back of your pet's neck, and then just let it go. In a well-hydrated animal, that skin is going to snap back into place almost immediately. But if the skin returns slowly or kind of stays peaked up in a tense shape, yeah, that is a massive red flag. It means your pet is suffering from dehydration and needs water and attention right away. Now, if that dehydration progresses to full-blown heat stroke, you're going to see some severe warning signs. You need to watch out for relentless, heavy, or really noisy panting. Check their mouth too. If their gums are looking abnormally red or pale, or if their drool is super thick and sticky, they are in serious trouble. Other major signs include lethargy, confusion, vomiting, and even muscle tremors or seizures. And keep in mind, older pets, puppies, and brachycephalic, the flat-faced breeds like pugs, bulldogs, or Persian cats, they're at a significantly higher risk because their shorter snouts just make panting way less effective. Which brings us to our final section. Section 5, Emergency First Aid. Fast action saves lives. The RSPCA outlines a really clear 3-step protocol to help keep you focused if you ever find yourself in a panic. Step 1, stop the heating. Immediately stop all exercise and get the animal out of the sun. Move them straight into the shade or an air-conditioned room. Step 2, cool them down. You want to pour room temperature water over their body, really focusing on the neck, stomach, and thighs. And step 3, transport. Get them to the nearest emergency vet immediately. I want to pause on this exact quote from the RSPCA for a second. Cool first, transport second. This is literally the golden rule. The longer an animal's core temperature stays elevated, the more catastrophic the organ damage becomes. Taking just a few minutes to actively cool the animal down with water before loading them into the car, that drastically improves their overall chances of survival. Oh, and there is a massive misconception we absolutely need to clear up right now. Do not put wet towels over your pet's body. I know it seems like a good idea, but if you drape a wet towel over an overheating dog or cat, it actually traps the heat against their skin. It acts exactly like a terrible damp oven. Instead, you want to place the wet towels under the pet for them to lie on, or you can gently press them into the armpits, groin, and neck area. Okay, so once you've started that cooling process, it's time to move. As you transport your pet, make sure your vehicle is super well ventilated. Crank that AC all the way up or roll down the windows so there's a strong breeze flowing over them. And just as importantly, call ahead. Let the emergency vet know you're coming in with a suspected heat stroke case. That way their team is totally prepped and ready to go the absolute second you walk through those doors. So we've covered the biology, the daily routines, the warning signs, and that absolutely critical first aid. Look, this summer heat is unforgiving. But the good news is heat stroke is entirely preventable with just a little bit of foresight. Think about your own home today. Do you have enough water bowls out? Have you actually checked the pavement temperature before a walk? Basically, is your home ready for the next heat wave? Your pets rely entirely on you for their safety. So take these steps today to make sure they have a cool, comfortable, and safe summer. Thanks so much for watching this explainer. And hey, stay safe out there.